Alright, so I'm going to make his blanket, and this kind of matches his pillowcase. So I'm just going to do a blanket kind of like this one. I don't know if you've seen this one before, but it's just one of those knotted ones. And I don't use the back part, like I don't double up fabric, I just use one piece and then do it. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully this will work. I don't have a whole lot of space, so we'll see, but this part is kind of easy. And the nice thing about making these blankets is that you don't have to be too careful, because once they are knotted, it's like you don't really notice the sides or the edges or anything. So somebody's drinking water. Woo, come here, let me wipe your face. Let me wipe your face. Oh, there we go. So here we go. I'm just gonna cut the sides. And like I said, it doesn't have to be too exact. If this cuts out though, which it probably will, because it's going to take longer than 15 minutes for me to do this, I will show you the finished product when we're at the end. And hopefully it's a hit, because he likes this color. And since we're doing an oceany theme in his bedroom pretty soon, hopefully it'll go with it. That's what I'll do too. Once we have everything set up in his room, it might take a little while, but once we do, I will do another room tour, because it's going to be really cool. It's going to be all beachy and oceany and something fun. So, yeah, are you excited? Yeah. Also, I need to get a higher tripod or a taller tripod, because I'm constantly getting the double chin shot. Nothing like a double chin shot to make you feel really beautiful when you look in the vlogs. Normally, in real life, I don't have a double chin. It's just that you guys are always seeing me from the bottom, so it looks like I do. But I make sure that it's not like that in real life. So I should probably just go out and buy a better tripod. But this one came with the camera, so you use what you got, right? Okay, so after I've cut along the edges, it's still kind of, like I said, it's not that straight, and it's not that, it doesn't look all that clean cut. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a square in the corner. So basically it's just going to go down here and over here. And then after we do that to all four corners, then I cut slits that are an inch wide, all the way down, all the way along the edges. And I do that all the way around. So once I'm done with that, I will show you what's next. Okay, so now that I have cut all of my guys, and I know that they're a little bit bigger than an inch, but I realize that because it is for A, because he is so young, he really doesn't need anything too little. You know, I don't need it to necessarily be little tiny like mine. It can be bigger and, you know, whatever. So then what we do is we just go through and tie knots. And that's it. You just tie a bunch of knots all over the place. And you tie each one individually, so you don't have to tie them together. You just you hold this up, you go around the back, go through the front, and then what I like to do is I like to put the knot as low down as I possibly can. And that way, once you wash it a couple of times too, those knots start to get a little bit tighter. They also get higher up. So if I start out with the knot at the very bottom, then it doesn't, you know, you don't pay as much attention to it if it goes a little bit farther up once you've washed it. So you just do this all the way around, and I will show you the finished product. And here's our finished product. So it has all those little knots around the outside. Not a hard thing to do, just kind of fun. And it's especially nice for kids because they're kind of rough on blankets. So, you know, this way you don't have to worry so much about the hem coming out or anything like that. Worst case, one of the knots comes out and you can just re-knot it. But I think this will be a good blanket. Sometimes what you'll have to do too, especially after you've washed it, is you will just need to kind of pull between the knots there to get it so that it is not scrunchy. Otherwise it'll kind of end up looking like that. You see how it kind of scrunches up? And then you just pull it. And now it's all good again. So I'm just going through and making sure my knots are tight.
Baby.
Although, like I did say earlier, once you wash it, the knots will get tighter, and they'll also get higher up. So this one may have started right here, but it will probably end up right about there. And like I said, if you don't like the way that works, you can always redo it. You can always reknot it. And this took me probably about 20 minutes to do, just all the knotting. If you do, there is a way where you can do this with multiple pieces of fleece. So you can put a bottom layer and then the top layer on top. And that's actually what most of them are, but for this case, I just figured he already has another little blanket that he sleeps with, and then he runs warm, so I didn't really want to give him too much fabric, just because that would get him to be too hot. So now I'm gonna go up and wash it, and then I'll put it on his bed with his pillowcase. Do you like it? He's playing with my debit card right now. And what were you buying with my card? What were you buying with my card?
Mimi.
You were buying Mimi with my card? What were you buying with my card? Are you shy? You said you were buying juice earlier. Were you buying juice with my card? Yeah.
Juice?
Juice? Do you like your blanket? Do you like this?